I'd like to call this meeting to order. First item is the invocation, and it will be delivered by Mr. Don Garland.
Would you please join me? Stand, please. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you especially for the refreshing rain. We ask now that your Spirit would lead us tonight as we meet to do business of our citizens. And Father, we want to pray for our military personnel all over the world. We pray for their safety. Pray for their return real soon, Father. And we ask you to bless our meeting tonight, and we pray that all things will be done decently and in order. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Roll call, please.
Bill England.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Roger Connor. Terry Callen. Joe Christian.
Here.
Mary Fraser. Don Garland. Charles Hoskin.
Here.
William Johnson.
Here.
John Keener.
Here.
Jackie Bob Martin. Linda O'Leary.
Here.
Giovanna Shophouse. David Thornton. Phil Georgie.
13 present, we have a quorum. Next item is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Next item is the State of the Nation address by the Chief, Mr. Chad Smith.
Hope everyone is having a good summer. As you know, last month I was a guest of the Tulsa Global Alliance and the Cultural Exchange with an indigenous community in Siberia. And the thing that I learned what was just fascinating is that the Buriots are a lot like us. If you went down to Stillwell on Main Street, there are a lot of those folks that you can see on Main Street. We found more commonalities and parallels. Basically, what probably divided us over centuries is a Bering Strait. Very congenial, very warm-hearted, open-hearted people. It was a great experience. It was funded by the State Department and the Community Connections program. Tonight, I want to recognize a few of our Cherokee citizens and friends who passed away during this last month. Nellie Tucker, Robert Belt, Ruby Shell. So if you will, let's have a moment of silence for our fellow Cherokees. Let's keep their family and other families in our prayers and thoughts. Several weeks ago, I had the opportunity to attend a press conference in Washington, D.C. And 20 years after the original congressional designation of the Trail of Tears as a National Historical Trail, Congressman Zach Watt, who has tribal heritage, and Congressman Berry of Arkansas are sponsoring and sponsored legislation to expand the Trail of Tears routes to include trails that look at Georgia and North Carolina, and to add markers to eastern Oklahoma at the end of the trail. I attended the press conference on June 29th and took a 125-foot scroll that listed 17,600 Cherokee names written basically in Cherokee. In 1836, after the Treaty of Nechota was signed, fraudulent on its face, the Cherokees came together and 17,000 signed sheets protesting that document, that Trail of Tears document, the Treaty of Nechota. We were able to receive a copy of it on a DVD. It was first filed in the Library of Congress. And our technology department printed it out into a scroll. We laid it out in the press room at the Braeburn building, and it reached all the way around the room, 125 feet. It was a sobering sight to see the names of so many of our ancestors protesting the Trail of Tears memorialized in our language. So we have to applaud Zach Watt, and the Oklahoma delegation was there in support and signed on to the bill. And I think the big thing about the Trail of Tears, National Historic Parks, is not that people died on it. It's that we should never allow those lessons to be forgotten. That history always repeats itself. That the federal government should never abandon us and betray us like we did those many years ago. Tonight we are honored to show our support to a Cherokee Nation citizen who is a well-known entertainer. You may know him from movies like The Indian in the Cupboard and is a rapper. And if you don't know what a rapper is, you may ask your children, or you may just go ask your grandchildren, because just like my parents chastised me about rap and roll and didn't quite understand it, I still have a hard time in translation. But Lightfoot is here this evening. What you may not know about him is his dedication to the youth, the Indian youth of this country. He has a Reach the Res project, which is taking his drug prevention and self-esteem message into tribal communities. He was not only a movie star and a music reporter, he played football at the University of Tulsa for a year. He went to school at Metro School in Tulsa. And his home place is there in Rogers County in Claremont. And so for his dedication and heritage, what he's doing for our youth, I want to present him tonight and ask him to come forward and say a few words and tell us about his Reach the Res project and that we were able to contribute in this last budget process to that great effort. So, Lightfoot, if you would come down.
It's a great honor for me to be here and stand before you tonight. I am delighted to be able to speak to you about this program. For the last 16 years, we've moved throughout Indian country. I've been blessed with many things. The Creator has brought to me various forms of blessings in the way of entertainment, through movies and music. Yet still I've never forgotten my purpose. What I truly believe that the Creator has given me as my greatest work is to make a difference with our youth throughout Indian country. And I know the Creator has blessed me in many ways to be able to broaden my foundation, to give me a bigger platform to speak to our youth from tribal nation to tribal nation. Over the years, we've studied other programs throughout Indian country that have been in existence for quite a while, where their strengths are, where they might be improved. And we created a program that, beginning in October, after 5 years of working throughout Indian country, I'm very honored to let you know that we will begin to move throughout Indian country to 211 reservations in 40 states, nearly 200,000 miles in 1 year's time. I'd also like to bring the information to you tonight that many tribes throughout Indian country have stepped up behind us in a way of support, many in an unprecedented fashion, and that our friends, the Seminole Tribe of Florida, have given us a tour bus, not leased us or lent us, but given us a tour bus to move throughout Indian country to do this work from here forward. And we will be moving in as many good ways as we can so that we make the most of this energy that we expend. We'll be filming this event as a documentary. We'll be hosting a website that right now has 8,000 young people involved in it, and conservatively, by the time our effort is finished, it will have 200,000 Native people involved by this time next year. Also, it will be a radio program that from this vehicle will broadcast with the American Indian Radio on satellite to nearly every reservation in Indian country, so that the youth will stay in touch with what it is we're doing, and that we'll also be able to maintain the momentum that we've built through this effort. But I'd like to say especially how significant and how important and how much it means to me to have the support of my tribe as I've moved throughout Indian country. I've done my very best to be a responsible, unofficial diplomat through all of the hundreds of tribes that I've visited over the last so many years, to represent our people well, those that walk before us and those that will come after us. And I appreciate the support of my people, especially as we move forward into this effort that I think is the culmination of all of my efforts in Indian country to this point. The effort will be for 5 years. In those 5 years, we'll reach some 900 reservations in a proactive way to help our youth with all of the ills that are facing them, and also our not youth, those that are our mothers and fathers, and our grandmothers and grandfathers, to encourage them and uplift them too. So I would especially ask for your prayers, and to remember us as we travel throughout this country. My wife and my son will travel with me, and I want to especially let you know here in person how much that it has meant to me for the support of the tribe, and I appreciate that. Madam.
We had the opportunity to visit earlier, and he said, you know, I'm one of the flag wavers of the Cherokee Nation when I'm out on the trail, so I thought he had to have at least a flag from the Cherokee. And he's got a tour bus, and every good Cherokee citizen should have our tag on the front of his vehicle. So that'll be displayed to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll have to know this will be on the front of the bus, so everywhere we go, they'll know what nation we're in. Thank you so much.
Some of our health department employees have received much deserved accolades from the Regional Indian Health Service in its 2005 area awards. Employees receiving awards are Cherokee Nation tribal citizen Teresa Allen. She is a woman in our program Women in Crisis at the Muskogee Health Center, is being honored with a merit award. Tribal citizen Shirley Goodland is also our managed care coordinator at the Muskogee Health Center, is receiving a peer recognition award. Dr. Pablo is the clinical director at our Gaduki Health Center. She is receiving from the Confederated Solution Kootenai Tribes an award. She is being honored with the Exceptional Performance Award. And also our Cherokee citizen Melissa Gower, our executive director of Health Services, is to receive the Superior Management Award. This is a great honor, and we congratulate our tribal health staff for their professionalism and dedication. So let's give them a round of applause. Those award ceremonies will be made later this month at the Reed Center in Oklahoma City. Also, we had a great event this last Saturday with our Child Development Center. They had a huge ongoing education best practices event at the Northeastern State University Ballroom. They usually have it here in Sequoia, and of course Sequoia is under construction. But Bridget Toby and Lori Han had an outstanding participation, probably 400 to 500 child care providers here in the Cherokee Nation. And we have keep an eye on them. I think they have just a bit too much fun. They had the entire place decorated like Survivor, had all the themes and games and activities. People certainly enjoyed themselves and learned quite a bit. Also, we had a great opportunity this weekend. It was a project that Joe Crittenden and Jackie Bob Martin and I have worked on in the past in Adair County, self-help housing, where we talked about structurally insulated panels, a very simple way to build houses. And 4 houses are going up in Adair County, Elm Grove, just close to the Arkansas line. And I had a chance this Saturday to spend a half day helping put those buildings up. We started with 4 or 5 staff and 3 or 4 community members, and within 4 or 5 hours, our staff was still there, but there was 20 or 30 community people just having a great time putting up a building, and it's a great, great project. And if you haven't had the chance to see the technology of a SIP panel, structurally insulated panel, I invite you to contact Marvin or Joe or Jackie Bob. They can take you up to Elm Grove and see what a really nifty project it is. It's a time of honoring our program or State of the Nation. Tonight we always recognize Native Americans as a greatly patriotic people, and each month Deputy Principal Chief Joe Grayson, and we will honor a few of our Cherokee citizens who are veterans. And so, Joe, if you'll come forward. Tonight, our first military service honoree is John T. Thompson. Mr. Thompson joined the Army Air Force in June of 1942, right after graduating from Sequoia Orphan Training School. Mr. Thompson completed his first round of military service in October of 1945. He re-enlisted in December of 1946. He served in World War II and received the DCF, the Air Medal, Good Conduct, and the Asian Pacific Medals. He also served during Vietnam as a Master Sergeant, reserved, and retired from the Air Force in 1967. Tahlequah native, Mr. Thompson is the son of citizens Newton and Annie Thompson. He was married for 60 years to Gracie Thompson. He has 5 children: Cheryl Thompson, Terry Thompson, Charles Thompson, Donnie Thompson, and Lynn Thompson. Mr. Thompson enjoys spending family with his family and friends, and raising his grandson, Wesley Thompson. So, Mr. Thompson, are you here tonight? Okay, if you'll come down, sir, please. Give him a round. Would you care to say the word?
Whatever I say, I'm very honored though to get the plaque, and I enjoyed the service, and I enjoyed all the people that in the service, and I'd like to say I'm honored for my classmates. Excuse me. I know I'm looking at the monument of who was lost, and a lot of them were my classmates and friends. And I want to thank Sequoia, and I want to thank the Indian Nation, and I'm very glad to be before you today. Thank you.
Our second military honoree is Amanda Davis. She was born in 1980. Mrs. Davis, like Mr. Thompson, joined the service after graduating from Sequoia High School. She is in service with the U.S. Army and has served 2 tours of duty with Operation Iraqi Freedom. In the first tour, she was assigned to the 1st Infantry, and in her second tour, assigned with the 4th Infantry, and is now stationed at Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas. Ms. Davis has received several combat awards. She likes spending her free time with her nephew Adam and enjoys playing outdoor sports with her family and friends. Miss Davis here?
Years ago. Thank you for your service.
Well, John Thompson's my grandfather. I come from a military family. I enjoy the service as well. Been in 6 years. It means a lot for you guys to support us. You guys are why we do what we do. That's it.
We have a third honoree tonight. It's posthumous, an award for Army Sergeant Arnold Duplantier II. Sergeant Duplantier is a grandson of Cherokee Nation citizen and Tahlequah native Jim Ketcher. A career soldier, he lost his life on June 22nd in Iraq while guarding the hotel where media crews were housed. He was with the 12th California Guardsmen, who was a patriot who loved the service and volunteered to go to Iraq. In addition to his grandfather, Jim Ketcher, he is served by his father Arnold and his wife Tanya and his 5-year-old daughter. So are they here in attendance with us tonight? Okay.
Well, my grandson, all he knew and loved was this service. He was on his third tour. I guess that's about it. Someone that loves it that much to go 3 times. That's it. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the Cherokee Nation departments and citizens who participated in the Huckleberry Parade and Fun Run in Jay. It was a nice event. The temperature was 10 degrees cooler than usual. The Sam Howder Clinic was very involved in the parade and other activities. And the race was made up mostly of Cherokee Nation wing members. I think about 2/3 of those folks there was from the Cherokee Nation group. The Nowata County Service Team will meet in conjunction with the Nowata Resource Council on Tuesday, July 12th from 10 to 11:30 at the First Christian Church in Nowata. I'd like to remind everybody of the Cherokee Heritage Center's annual production of the Trail of Tears drama, now at Salagi Amphitheater. The show runs every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday through September 3rd with a final special performance on Sunday, September 4th. For more information, you can call the Heritage Center. It's 456-6007. Also tonight, I'd ask everybody to start making your travel plans and hotel reservations for the Cherokee National Holiday. It's coming up the first weekend in September. It's a weekend certainly packed with fun activities for the entire family, as well as traditional games, parade, car show, ball games, and other activities. This year's theme is a state of Sequoia. So it gives us an opportunity to celebrate the efforts of the Cherokee people and the 5 tribes 100 years ago to prevent the effort to dissolve our government. It was an effort to create an all-Indian state, convert Indian territory to the state of Sequoia. It was a valiant effort. Now we have 1 state rather than 2, one being Oklahoma and Sequoia. We just have 1 state now, Oklahoma. But there's great lessons to be learned there, and there's accomplishments to be celebrated. Thank you very much. Good evening. We're done.
Before we move on to the next item of unfinished business, I would like to have a motion to suspend the rules for the time debate. Would somebody from the council put that into form of a motion, that we suspend the rules for the time debate? I think we were supposed to start a time debate tonight, and we have not got all the logistics. Okay. Then we will move on. The action of unfinished business. Thank you, Chief, for your State of the Nation. Item 1 is an act amending Legislative Act 16-96. Councilman O'Leary.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to put in the form of a motion to table this until our next full council session. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Roll call vote, please.
Bill England?
Yes.
Bill John Baker?
Yes.
Margaret Connor?
Yes.
Carol Cowan?
Yes.
Joe Crimley?
Yes.
Mary Fraley? John Garvin?
Yes.
Charles Hoskin?
Yes.
William Johnson?
Yes.
Tom Keener?
Yes.
Jacob Bob Martin?
Yes.
Linda O'Leary?
Yes.
Navon Shophouse?
Yes.
David Thornton? Phyllis Yargy? Yes.
The vote was unanimous. Act is tabled till the next meeting. Item number 2 under unfinished business is an act amending Legislative Act 1601. Councilman Crittenden.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too would like to make a motion to table this, seeing the importance as I see it, and not having the full council here tonight. I would like to table this to next meeting.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Bill John Baker?
Yes.
Audra Connor?
Yes.
Carol Cowan?
Yes.
Joe Crimley?
Yes.
Mary Fraley? John Garvin?
Yes.
Charles Hoskin?
Yes.
William Johnson?
Yes.
John Keener?
Yes.
Jacob Bob Martin?
Yes.
Linda O'Leary? Navon Shophouse?
Yes.
David Thornton? Phyllis Yargy? Yes.
The vote was unanimous.
Yes.
Bill England?
The vote was unanimous. Tabled until the next meeting. Next item, we have the committee reports. And we would like to move Mr. Jim Majewski up to the first report. I believe he has.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. I have a meeting up in Catoosa. I have to be at about 7:30, so it's going to be a little tight. So, good evening, Principal Chief Smith, Deputy Chief Grayson, and members of the council. Cherokee Nation Industries finished out the year. June was just under $8 million. Sales for the year were about the same as last year, which is a little bit disappointing, but the good news is our profitability is up almost 50% over last year. Plus, we have a bunch of new opportunities and a budget. The budget's in process right now, but our budget shows us probably being in about the $100 million range next year. Our backlog continues to be strong. We have a backlog of about $60 to $70 million. Like I said, we are preparing the budget for next year. And the numbers, since our year ends June 30th, the numbers won't be finalized, of course, until the auditors get done with everything. And I guess that's really what counts. So our next board meeting is June 28th at 9:30 a.m. Questions?
Any questions? Any questions? Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Joe.
Next, we have the Housing Authority, Mr. David Sutherland.
Good evening. Housing Authority's regular board meeting for July will be held July 26th at 5:30. It was actually scheduled for the 19th, but we had to reschedule in order to obtain a quorum. We do have several agenda items. The board will discuss the possibility of raising rents in our low-income apartments, as well as raising the administrative fee in our mutual help homes. A tenant in a mutual help home currently pays 15% of their adjusted gross income, with the first $60 being the administrative fee. The $60 admin fee is the minimum payment that a family can make. We currently charge a tenant in our low-income apartments 15% of their adjusted gross income. Prior to 2000, we charged 30%. So we want to look, see if it's a possibility of possibly going up on that. The board will also discuss the salary survey, which will be completed by the scheduled board meeting evening. The other agenda item will be discussing the hiring of a permanent executive director. We haven't had a permanent executive director in 2.5 years, so that'll be on the agenda. The HUD budget, as it relates to the Indian Housing Block Grant, continues to look as if it's a pretty good sized decrease is on the horizon. The House has added funding to the 2006 budget the President submitted, but the House's amount is still a cut of some $90 million to Indian housing. The Cherokee Nation's new home ownership program, which will be a mortgage assistance program, will begin prior to October 1st. We should begin identifying 200 families in the next few weeks to participate. And this will only be the first phase. A comprehensive counseling program will be available later in the year. That's my report. If you have questions, I'd be happy to try and answer.
Any questions? Go ahead.
David, did I understand you right when you said that there's going to be a raise on the rent of the apartments?
No, right now we're just talking about it. Just put it on there.
That's a proposed?
That's a proposal.
And also on the raise on the mutual health homes?
Same thing. We're just starting discussions.
Guideline type raise or?
The way it would work on a mutual help thing is kind of a bad thing in a sense. If someone pays $300 based on their income, the first 60 of it goes to the admin fee. The rest of it goes into their equity account. So when you have enough equity built up, over time, the house pays off. If we just raise the admin fee, then what happens is if we go to $80, it only affects those that are paying $60. In other words, if you're paying the $300, it won't affect you as far as the amount of rent you pay. It'll just be the first, an extra 20 would not be going to your MEPA account.
So in actuality, there won't be a raise to the public?
To the ones paying only $60, there would be.
There would be a $20 raise?
Yeah. Well, if it was $80.
For example.
Yeah.
How did y'all arrive at this?
How do we arrive
How did you arrive at determining there needed to be a raise?
Well, actually, this is just to start the discussion. We haven't put a number to it or anything.
Yeah, I'll be interested in finding how you arrive.
Well, what we'll do is we'll look at the actual expenses and what the actual income is. We haven't had a raise in the admin fee. I think it's either 94 or 95.
Any other questions? Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Next, we have Cherokee Nation Enterprises, Mr. David Stewart.
Good evening. Our results continue to be strong compared to this month last year. We're almost 90% in excess of that month, so you can see that the impact of the compact and our expansion and operations has been significant. We expect that to continue, but with increased competition at some of the other casinos as a result of the compact as well. Our total Native American employment is back strong at 67%, with Tahlequah taking the prize with 95%. So very good. We need to commend all of our general managers at the casinos. They're doing an excellent job. It's exciting to see Will Rogers Down take shape. I would encourage you to get out there and see it. I think you're going to be surprised. It's going to be one of our star facilities. It's taking shape very well. We still have another 30 to 45 days left on construction, but I would encourage you to get out there and see that. We're providing a great opportunity for Cherokees to have careers in the hospitality industry. In the past 18 months, we've hired in excess of 1,000 people. And I would encourage you that are listening over the website, if you would like to have an opportunity in hospitality, to give us a call. We still have a lot of room left in our employment to hire additional people, so I would encourage that. Our board meeting is July 25th. I would encourage you to attend that as well, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about CNE.
Mr. President.
Sir.
David, I was at alumni meeting down Central High this past weekend, and quite a few people was asking about the casino there at Solace. So I think you told us once it's going to be ready by January the 1st, and they don't see any action down that way. And
no, we're actually evaluating that casino, the size and the layout, as a result of our expansion at Roland, because we don't want to build too much in the same area. So that casino has been delayed somewhat based on that evaluation. I would expect it to have another 60 to 90-day delay waiting that. But we will build a casino there. It's just going to maybe be a little bit smaller.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Thank you, David.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Cherokee Nation Businesses, Mr. Jim Carrington.
Good evening. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate the opportunity. Cherokee Connects continued to add more customers last month. I was expecting a business plan to help us analyze our opportunity that Connects has on the call center. My understanding is that is not yet complete. I hope to get that soon. We at CNB have probably 10 to 12 opportunities that are in various stages of analysis at this point. We've narrowed several down, as I've tried to explain over the time, and hope to bring you more information about those in detail here very soon. One thing that we have accomplished most recently is getting the advisory team charter finished. By the way, I appreciate several of you who attend our advisory team meetings, and Mr. Johnson in particular, thank you for attending our most recent one. At that particular meeting, for example, we discussed opportunities for CNI to invest in GEG. We discussed information technology opportunities. We've discussed construction company opportunities. And the one that will be coming up probably in the next couple of weeks, it's not been scheduled yet, we expect to deal with an environmental services opportunity for CNB. That particular opportunity was discussed at our last board meeting and did receive some support. So hopefully in the next 30 days, next time we have this meeting, we'll be able to announce to you the completion of our next opportunity. Our board meeting will be in the last week of August at this point. We've not yet scheduled a date, but that's my report for tonight. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Next item is old business. An act amending Legislative Act 7-97. Councilman Crittenden.
I'd like to make a motion to table this to the August tribal council meeting.
Motion is made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
President, before we take a vote, just to update the public or our audience is that we discussed this in a special rules meeting earlier today, and there's too many changes that need to be made to the final document for a vote to occur tonight. And that's why there's additional months delay in the selection law that we've been working on for 2 years now. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Audra Connor? Yes. Kara Cameron? Yes. Joe Crittenden?
Yes.
Meredith Brandon? John Garvin?
Yes.
Charles Hoskin?
Yes.
William Johnson?
Yes.
John Keenan?
Yes.
Jacob L. Martin?
Yes.
Linda O'Leary?
Yes.
Lavon Shophouse?
Yes.
David Thornton? Bill Shiarji?
Yes.
Bill England?
Yes.
Bill John Baker?
Yes.
The motion to table is passed. Next, we move on to new business. legislative act entitled Cherokee Nation Trail of Tears Award Program. Mr. Hoskins.
President, I'd like to refer to the sponsors, co-chair of education. I understand there's been a request to withdraw this item. Mr. Garvin.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. We've had difficulty with this for a long time, and the problem is the high school is outside the boundaries, where the district part of it's inside the boundary. So the Cherokee Nation has not given awards to those schools where the high school is out and the district is inside. A lot of our young people were not recognized, and I worked on this for a while, and I think it's we worked it out with the administration that they can handle this now, that they will be recognized. It's a tremendous award. We had almost 800 young people to receive this award this year, and it's a shame we left out a few, but it's going to be corrected by the administration. So I wish to withdraw this, and it's taken care of by the administration. I make a motion we withdraw this legislation.
Motion made, seconded. All in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carried. Item number 2 is a resolution confirming the renomination of Jim Hummingbird. Mr. Crittenden.
Items 2, 3, and 4 are nominating or renominating people to serve on respective boards. Jim Hummingbird is a board member of the Cherokee Nation Tax Commission. Warren Ross is board member of the Cherokee Nation Industries Board of Directors. And Terry Daniels is a board member of the Economic Development Trust Authority Board of Directors. I would like to make a motion to pass these in total.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any questions or discussion?
Call for question.
All in favor, aye?
Aye. Mr. Chairman.
All opposed, sir?
Go ahead.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Would those people that are here, would Mr. Hummingbird, would you stand, please? Is Warren Ross here? What about Terry Daniels? We thank you for your service. Next, we move on to item number 5, which is resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Health Services to participate in Indian Health Service joint venture. Mr. Crittenden.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to defer to my co-sponsor, Mr. Garvin. This is in his district, and he worked hard on it.
Thank you, Mr. President. The excitement continues to grow in District 4 concerning this clinic. Recently, we purchased 30 acres of the health department down out close to the Muskogee Turnpike. Excellent location. And as you know, we have a joint venture with the Indian Health Service. We build the building and they staff it and furnish the doctors and medicine and so forth. And this act tonight recognizes that. Cherokee Nation has recognized an urgent need for a health center to be constructed in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Cherokee Nation wishes to seek the equipment and operational funding for this clinic by participating in the Indian Health Service Joint Venture Construction Program. Cherokee Nation agrees to provide a health facility to be located in Muskogee for this project. The secret word there is joint venture with the Indian Health Service. I make a motion we approve this act.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no.
Mr. Chairman, at this time I'd like to ask that we amend the agenda of this tonight's council meeting to add a resolution that just came out of a special rules meeting for concern sovereign immunity at Will Rogers Dam.
Second motion.
Friendly amendment, Mr. President. I'd also like to add to that a resolution approving the solicitation of financing for Sequoia High School multi-purposes facility. It was passed on executive and finance, but is not on the agenda. Regular executive and finance, I believe, right? Do you accept?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that put in the form of a motion?
That was a friendly amendment to their motion.
Okay. So that would become both.
They accepted.
Okay, that'd be item number 15. Is there any questions or discussion on that?
Well, Roger 10 would be 15, and 16 would be Sequoia.
Okay. Then I need to put that in form of a motion. Did I have a second on that?
You did.
Okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no? Motion carried. 15 was Will Rogers? Okay. Mr. Garvin, on your number 5, did we get a vote on that? I think I got to the nays, and I don't think I heard.
There was no nays.
No nays? Okay, item 5 is passed. Item 6 is a resolution authorizing the Department of Children, Youth, and Family Services to submit an application to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Ms. Shotpouch.
This is a resolution authorizing the Department of Children, Youth, and Family Services to submit application to U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Family Youth Service Bureau for emergency use shelter. This is the John Ketcher Shelter, home shelter, and an amount of $700,000 with $4,000 match requirement. I'll put that in form of motion.
Second. Motion's made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, no? Motion passed. Item 7 is a resolution authorizing the purchase of land. Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll get my stuff together here. Anyway, this is authorizing the contractor purchase of a 10-acre tract of land in Craig County, and we discussed this in the Resource Committee. The last meeting, I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, no? Motion passed. Item 8 is a resolution authorizing the execution of oil and gas leases on the Arkansas riverbed lands. Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move for approval. This is a resolution is blanket approval for oil and gas leases in and along the Arkansas River.
Motion's made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no? Motion passed. Item number 9 is a resolution authorizing the approval of oil and gas leases on the Arkansas riverbed, Red Wine Resources.
I'll move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no? Motion carried. Item number 10 is a resolution authorizing the approval of oil and gas leases on 160 acres of Cherokee Nation fee land in Stevens County, Oklahoma.
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no? Motion carried. Item number 11 is a resolution authorizing the approval of oil and gas lease on the Arkansas riverbed, Red Wine Resource.
Move for approval.
Did I do that one?
Nope, that's different.
Okay.
Different acreage.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no? Motion carried. Item number 12 is an act relating to the preservation of Cherokee culture at Cherokee Nation facilities. Ms. Yargy.
It's my pleasure to present this act, honored to present this act, which will provide a simple way for us to educate our neighbors and our citizens about our culture and heritage through visual art, and it will allow, the purpose of this act is to earmark 1% of new construction or renovation to any existing facility to purchase or to earmark for artwork or architect design, which will reflect our heritage and culture. So I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Joe Crittenden,
Yes.
Meredith Fraley, Ron Garvin,
Yes.
Charles Hoskin,
Yes.
William Johnson,
Yes.
John Keener,
Yes.
Jackie Bob Martin,
Yes.
Linda O'Leary,
Yes.
Navon Shophouse,
Yes.
David Thornton, Bill Shargi,
Yes.
Bill England,
Yes.
Bill John Baker,
Yes.
Audrey Connor,
Yes.
Carol Callum,
Yes.
The vote was unanimous. The act passed. Item number 13 is a resolution supporting the solicitation of healthcare facility loan proposals. Mr. Crittenden.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Cherokee Nation desires to acquire financing for purposes for a term not to exceed 15 years in conjunction with solicited construction bids for an amount not to exceed $30 million, which will be repaid through additional cost funding through IHS joint venture and third-party revenues. This is for the 3 clinics that we, Muskogee, Nowata, and Redbird Smith down in Sequoia County. And I put that in the form of motion, sir.
Motion's made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no. Resolution passed. Item number 14 is an act amending Legislative Act 3704. Mr. Baker.
Yes. This is the act amending Legislative Act 3704, authorizing comprehensive budget for fiscal year 2005, known as Mod 10, and declaring an emergency. The purpose of this amendment is to authorize or approve the use of funds subject to availability of such funds in accordance with Section 4, changing the amounts of certain cost centers approved in the Comprehensive Budget Act of Fiscal 05 and subsequent amendments. The cumulative total of the budget is increased by $6,180,726 for a total budget authority of $332,398,593. I put it in the form of a motion to be approved.
Motion's made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
John Garvin,
Yes.
Charles Hoskin,
Yes.
William Johnson,
Yes.
John Keener,
Yes.
Jackie Bob Martin,
Yes.
Linda O'Leary,
Yes.
Navon Shophouse,
Yes.
David Thornton, Bill Shargi,
Yes.
Bill England,
Yes.
Bill John Baker,
Yes.
Audrey Connor,
Yes.
Carol Callum,
Yes.
Joe Crittenden,
Yes.
Meredith Fraley.
Vote was unanimous. The act passed. Item number 15 is Will Rogers Downs. Mr. Baker.
Yes. This is a limited waiver sovereign immunity of Will Rogers Downs, LLC, Cherokee Nation Enterprises, Inc., and the Cherokee Nation. Under no circumstances do we take waiving sovereign immunity lightly. But if we're going to deal with a state racetrack and own it on fee land, we've got to do what we've got to do. The chief has assured us, this council, that he will do everything he can as far as not waiving the immunity of the tribe, to the extent of putting up a cash bond to fully protect the purses and the players and those kinds of things. However, he is authorized, if that fails with the state, to waive the immunity for the purses and those things dealing with the racetrack at Will Rogers Downs. I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Roll call vote, please.
Charles Hoskin. William Johnson.
Yes.
John Keener.
Yes.
Jacob Ball Martin.
Yes.
Linda O'Leary. Melvin Champagne.
No.
David Gordon. Charles Yarnge.
Yes.
Bill England.
Yes.
Bill John Baker.
Yes.
Audra Connor.
Yes.
Kara Cowan.
Yes.
Joe Crittenden.
Yes.
Mary Fraley. Tom Garvin.
Yes.
The act passed. 12 yeas, 1 nay. Item number 16 is dealing with Sequoia High School. Ms. Cowan, are you sponsor of that?
Do you have the paperwork in front of you?
No, it was passed in that committee though, and it was crucial for the timing of the money if we want that project complete on any kind of schedule. It was supposed to have been concluded, I don't know why it's not there. Mr. Cater's here, I believe, or Doug.
Here comes Doug.
I think you'll find it in the back of your book behind the pink paper.
Behind the pink paper.
Oh, yes.
Okay, this resolution supporting the solicitation proposal for financing a portion of the Sequoia High School multipurpose center. Gets down to that Principal Chief Chad Smith, NRA's designee, is hereby authorized to negotiate favorable lending rates for financing not to exceed $2,500,000 for the purpose of funding the construction of the Sequoia High School multipurpose center. As I understand it, we're anticipating the BIA helping fund that facility, and but their budget years are, it might be pushed down 1, 2, 3 years. So we're soliciting financing to finish the project and hoping that those funds will come back from the federal government to pay this loan off. I put it in form of a motion.
Mr. President, can I say something?
Go ahead.
This money is also to help cover the cost of increased costs of construction materials and other delays that they face since the project began. So this is just additional dollars from what we've already put forward. Thank you, Mr. President.
Did you second that?
Yes, I did.
Motion's made and seconded. Any more questions or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carried. Are there any announcements? Go ahead, Ms. Cowan.
The community meeting this Thursday, and it's going to be instead of 7, it'll be from 6 to 8. And it's a hot dog picnic at Claremore Lake, and we're going to be learning, for those that don't know, my community, they're teaching Cherokee marbles at the picnic, and that's our meeting this night. So you're welcome to join us out today.
And in the form of an announcement, Councilman O'Leary, Shot Pouch, and Smoke, or Connor, and myself had a very successful community development meeting at Oaks. There was over 80 people in attendance, and on the Thursday after the 4th of July, and a good time was had by all, I do believe.
Any other announcements? Mr. Martin.
President, thank you. I'd like to recognize a distinguished person in the audience tonight. She announced to us in one of the last meetings that she would vanish from this part of the world tomorrow.
Next council meeting is August 15th at 6 o'clock. Motion's made and seconded.
Aye.
All in favor, aye. All opposed, no. Meeting adjourned.